Alright guys, next up on the list for reviewing is MP-11 Destron New Leader Starscream. I have a bit of a history with this toy. So, back when I got full into the Masterpiece collecting thing, I wanted him. I wanted a Starscream. I never found it for a price I was okay with for a while. I was at a convention February 2016, and they had the Masterpiece Acid Storm, the American release, and I was like, okay, well, I need the mold, so I bought Acid Storm. Or is this 2015? This had to be 2015. It's 2015. So yeah, 2015, because I remember now. 2015 was at a convention. They had this, and then I was at Toys R Us about 6 months later, and they had just released the American version of Starscream. I was like, oh, Starscream. So I picked up Starscream and I gave Acid Storm to a friend. And I had that version of the mold for a while. And recently, I found this one on eBay for about $80. And I was like, okay. So I picked up the Japanese version because I wanted the cape and the gauntlet and the shoulder pads and the crown. Otherwise, there's like no difference with the figure. And then I gave the American version to my little brother. A caveat to that is my box has water damage. So, but this is the second version of the Seeker mold. I'm not gonna say it's a new mold because it's not a new mold. It's, what's the word I'm looking for? It's slightly re-engineered. It's a remold, but it's the same base core, but it's remolded a few parts here and there to make it an overall better figure. And I do agree that it's the superior mold compared to the original. But with the new Starscream on its way, will this hold up? I don't know. The new figure's not out till June. But we're going to review this as is. So here's the box. It's got Starscream in his jet mode and his robot mode as the new Decepticon leader when back in the movie before he got blown to pieces by Galvatron. Side Transformers Masterpiece Starscream. On the back it shows Starscream, Starscream, more Starscream. Transformers Masterpiece on the top. Transformers Masterpiece. The bottom is the water damage on the box. That's pretty much it for the figure. He comes with some accessories, which we will talk about later. For the most part, we're going to we're going to talk about this figure. So, like I said, I have this mold of Starscream, and I have the original MP3 mold. I don't have that as Starscream. I have the MP6 version, which is Skywarp. So, nothing to really... What is covering my camera? Alright, that was weird. Let's try this. Yeah, that's better. So, anywho, here we've got Starscream, and he looks really nice in jet mode, just like the original version did. They remolded some bits, so like it's a little more obvious he's a robot. So the jet mode's actually a little bit worse on this mold, but the robot mode's way better. It's traditional Starscream colors. There's vehicle-wise, there's not much between this one and the original version. So make of that what you will. My roommate's meowing in the background, but this, again, he comes with a little holographic pilot dude instead of Dr. Arkville, which can fit in there. Woo! He still has the air brake right there. He's still got the radar. You could still open the back up. reveals that detail, which actually has a purpose this time. And that's really it to the jet mode. It's a very, very nice jet mode. Actually, like the original mode was. Original mold was. But where this mode really shines compared to the original is the robot mode. Let's go ahead and fold away all the landing gear. Transformation, as the original, isn't all that hard. But, so, go ahead and fold the wings up and then fold the feet out, which have been remolded. Gonna pull this piece out, separate it, and then push this up, which is another remold, because the original, those pieces just kind of hung off like a samurai, which is weird for Starscream. But then we're gonna actually open these pieces up, and one of the biggest improvements is fold these out to give him heels. Yes. He can stand now, as you can see. So then we're going to fold these up. And then we're going to disconnect the null rays, which, as you see, are connected. That's another remold. There's no parts forming anymore, which is fantastic. So that's like they really took fan feedback of this mold and just tried to improve it, which, okay, go Takara. We're actually going to go ahead and we'll fold the arms out now. Be on the safe side. Fold these out. Push this back piece out. Fold these tabs out. And these are actually, I think, designed to come off now. Yeah, these are designed to pop off now. So that was a breakage issue on the original, and they fixed that here. So if it pops off, it's not broken. It's just designed to come off, just to be on the safe side. My roommate keeps meowing at his girlfriend in the background, and it's really strange. But fold the hands out, and then fold these pieces down. Actually, before we do that, we're going to actually separate this. And then we'll go ahead and fold all that down. Right, there we go. And we're going to open this piece up. Push that down, fold that up. And then the nose cone's gonna slide on through the back. Just gonna connect, close that, push all that down. And that's all she wrote. Here we got Starscream in his robot mode. And I think with the remolds they did, he does look a lot better than the first run of this mold. In my opinion, I think he looks a lot better. For one, he can actually stand, which is a major improvement. They didn't fix the chest tabbing issue, which is a problem. It doesn't really stay connected at all, but yeah, what can you do? They remolded the head, which I think is a much better sculpt. He doesn't have the head flipping gimmick anymore, which is a shame, but that's okay. What else did they change? So these wings now have the spikes on them, so you don't have the, these pieces don't fold down anymore. You don't have that piece hanging off. You don't have, these pieces are attached to the legs. They're not just hanging off the back anymore, which is great. It looks more like what Starscream's supposed to look like, rather than a random samurai warlord inspired by Starscream, or in the case of the version I have, Skywarp. He still has these. His articulation is pretty much the same. You can do all that fun stuff. Yeah, you can get him in some cool poses. Size-wise, again, he is the exact same. Size is no different than the original. So, nothing really changed there. It's essentially the same figure, just remolded a decent bit enough to be what I find to be a much better toy. Like, I actually do like this Starscream quite a bit. I know there's the Make Toys, I think it's called Meteor, which is probably a better figure. I don't collect third-party stuff, but it's probably a better figure than this. But I always go official over third-party every time. The one time I didn't was with X-Transbots Apollyon. Oh boy. Anywho, but the fact that he has heels just speaks volumes for the improvements on this figure, because that was one of his biggest problems. They fixed the breakage issue on the wings. They changed the head sculpt, for better or for worse. I like this version better, but you might not. The biggest addition to this is the coronation set. So the cape, the crown, and the shoulder pads. So how these go on is very simple. You take this piece right here, and it's going to slide in onto his back, like so. It all fits on very easily. Shoulder pads go on to his shoulders. There's a tab and there's a hole on the shoulder, which was present on the original mold too. So it's like they intended to release this at some point anyway. When they were decided to finally come out, they're like, oh, let's fix the mold. And then his crown goes up top. And there you go. You have the new Destroy Leader Starscream. The cape is really cool. It's a plastic cape. But it can go... You can do a lot with it. So you can open it up like that. Be a little bit bigger. It can slide like this to be like flowing in one direction. Or you can do it the other way. There's a lot of options with this cape, and it looks really, really awesome. It's heavy on his back, and it takes up a lot of room. But like, if you get him in a pose like the one on the box, it actually does look really nice. I typically don't pose him with the coronation set because it was a thing for about 10 seconds and then he got obliterated. But you know, it's a really cool thing to have, I'm not gonna lie. I gotta say, overall, this is a major improvement, despite it seeming just like little things. It is a pretty big improvement on the MP-11 Starscream. He can still use the stand. So if you have a stand from like the MP-11 Starscream, he'll still accommodate it. The American release does come with the stand, but it doesn't come with the coronation set. So you lose the coronation set, but you... Sorry, I got a phone call in the middle of that, but I was really closing out the video anyway. So, like I was saying, you lose the coronation set, but you get the stand with the American release. So, I want to say that's about it for this video. Like I said, it's a good figure. It's not in my top 10 on my it's not in my top 10 on my masterpiece or anything like that, but if you're gonna get this mold, I'd say probably with the new Starscream coming out, get it as Thundercracker. But if you're just inkling for a Starscream, he's not a bad one. He's not overly expensive. And Takara has beat this mold to hell and back. With Thundercracker, Skywarp, Starscream, Thrust, Dirge, Ramjet, Sunstorm, Sandstorm, not Sandstorm, Acid Storm. They've beaten this mold to death, so find the one you like. I personally go for Thundercracker. But because their new Starscream going out. But I want to say that's going to be it. So I want to wish you guys all well. Have a good one. Bye bye.